You're listening to Your Calm Parenting Path. I'm your host Nina, a mindful parenting coach and mum, here to help you go from overwhelmed and reactive to calm, confident and connected with your kids. This show is for parents who want to raise their children with more patience, less stress and a whole lot more joy. Because small shifts make a big impact and you can build the parenting life you've always wanted. If you want to see what I'm up to, follow me on Instagram at Mindful Parenting Lifestyle, and don't forget to hit follow or subscribe so you never miss an episode. Let's get started. Hello and welcome back to Your Calm Parenting Path. Today we're diving into the emotional world of preteens and teenagers, those often confusing, passionate and transformative years. My guest is Eugenia Gallo, the founder of Creators Will Create and a certified teen coach with over a decade of experience supporting young people. Eugenia brings a unique blend of neuroscience, emotional intelligence and holistic practices like breathwork and cold therapy into her work with teens. So whether you're raising a tween, navigating high school dynamics or preparing for what's ahead, this is a conversation that you do not want to miss. Eugenia, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Nina. Thank you. It's a pleasure being here today. I really appreciate you giving the space.
Oh, I'm excited to chat because my boys right now are 4, 6 and 8 and the teenage years seems like a lifetime away, but I'm sure they are going to creep up on me so fast.
I always say that earlier as you start, the better you are prepared. Of course, things are going to happen, but at least it doesn't take you for surprise at the moment. And it's like, oh my God, what's going on today? Because it can happen very quickly.
Like overnight.
When puberty hits. Yeah.
Oh God. Ooh,
yeah.
Okay. So, Eugenia, to start off with, can you just tell us a little about your own journey and how you came to specialise in teen coaching and emotional wellbeing?
Yeah, absolutely. So my journey began a long time ago. I struggled so much when I was a teenager myself. I come from a high achieving family. So I'm identified as a high achiever as well. And same as my mom and my dad. My dad's a very successful entrepreneur. My mom has a PhD in mathematics, so she's very, very smart. But emotions were something that any of us, not even my siblings, we never been taught, come from a family of if you show that you're vulnerable, people are going to take it that you're weak, or we don't talk about these things. And very, I don't like to say old school, but it is definitely an old way of parenting. Like they never have been taught as well by my grandparents. So I struggle very much. I struggle a lot. What they did is they put me to therapy for 6, 7 years during those times.
Okay.
And it kind of like helped with the relief, having someone, of course, professional they can hear, but I've never really learned the tools and what to do with my own self-regulation and how to explore the world by being a teenager. It's because it's actually very interesting. It's a moment in life where you are building your identity. You are understanding who you are, who you want to be, who you want to become, what you like, what you don't like, what kind of people you like around, what do you want to get out from your friendships, and having the right tool to navigate those years. It's crucial. It's crucial for when you become an adult later. So I struggle myself, my background history. I was born and raised in Argentina, and I been part of the corporate world for a long time before changing and transition to becoming a youth worker. That transition happened in New Zealand actually, but this is like has been going through for the last 10 years.
Great.
And that ignite my passion for working with young people.
What draws you to work with young people?
I love the energy. I love how they see life. They're so innocent and at the same time so creative, how they see, how explore, how they understand the world. Like I have a very different way of seeing teenager. Like I know a lot of parents are very scared, but it's, if you think about is they're so fascinated about everything and they have so much energy. And when you guide them and they feel they are safe and they've been seen and heard, they trust you. And when you can create that connection and the trust, you are helping a young person, so I see like a big baby somehow, but it's a very like very little young person to become later on a beautiful, strong adult, a woman, a man, someone that it's gonna one day be working out there, is gonna be part of this community, is gonna take on leadership roles, is gonna be raising other children. And it's such misunderstood age. And I feel that we really need to step up more as a society
Mm.
and have more people doing the type of work that I do.
Oh, Eugenia, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can really sense your enthusiasm and your passion coming through. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
One of the things that you talk about that you've mentioned to me in the past is this second window of opportunity. So, would you be able to explain that to the listeners and why it's such a crucial phase in a child's development?
Absolutely. So the first window of opportunity happens from the moment of birth up to when a child is around 3, 4, 5 years, depends of maturity and the context and environment. So if you think about the brain, because I'm going to talk more about the brain now, it's more my level. They are learning everything. They are a sponge. The brain is in theta brainwave states, and you don't have this opportunity to help your kid rewire your brain until they hit again their teenage years.
Okay.
Yeah, it's very interesting. It's a very interesting compendium by UNICEF as well. If you want to learn and know more about it, it's very interesting. So the second window opportunities, this moment in life, since they hit puberty, but it can start a little bit earlier, around 10 years, up to 25 years. But the teenage years are the years that the brain is massively changing.
Yeah.
There's a growth in the prefrontal cortex. So the prefrontal cortex goes under construction heavily during these years. So neuroplasticity and pruning it's crucial. So you have neuroplasticity happening, pruning. So you either like use it or you lose it. That's how the brain works during these moments. The dopamine secretary is also having this very powerful moment of being reinforced depending on what the teenager, unfortunately, some of them develop with long technology.
Are you able to explain those three terms?
Yeah. So neuroplasticity is the ability of the brain to rewire itself. So how the brain connects. Let's say, for example, when we have little kids, so it's the capacity of learn very quickly and rewiring the brain quickly. So depending on what their discipline, the habits, the environment, how safe they feel, what kind of role models they have around and what they learn in school, it's very important because these moments in their life, the neuroplasticity is at its peak. It's the moment there is at its peak, even more than when they are a child.
Right.
So everything they learn, they're gonna take them to the adult life. I'm not saying that neuroplasticity can't happen when you're adult, because it can. It's just that it drops down and lowers very quickly. So it's big in the teenagers year from 13 to 17, 18.
Yep. Great.
Then the pruning is what I mentioned before. It's like you use it or you lose it. So
Gotcha.
yeah, with neuroplasticity, the connections, if you reinforce them, let's say that you have a teenager that is an athlete and it's really good with learning discipline and habits and how to stay focused, how to be in flow, that he's going to use this neural pathways and reinforce them with practice, that it's more likely to be an adult later, regardless like if he or she chooses to be an athlete that has the capacity to have strong discipline, good healthy habits, and it's going to behave and it's going to be that role model when they are an adult. That's the pruning part. And dopamine. So the dopamine, which is the reward system, a lot of people talk about dopamine, the reward system today. Unfortunately, the phone doesn't help much with that, because you're having dopamine hits by having immediate reward in a way that it's not healthy or real.
So as in like social media, TikTok, Snapchat, that type of thing.
Yeah. Which social media has good stuff. It's just how you use it. Dopamine secretary, the reward system, is at its peak at this moment as well. So that's why teaching our teens to have discipline and healthy habits, it's important so they then transition into becoming an adult with a healthy brain.
Wow.
Because it's all we want in these years is to help develop healthy brain.
Mm. You know what's popping up in my mind as you're talking about all this stuff, and that is the Inside Out movie, the number 2.
Yeah, I love it. I love it.
Where she turns into a teenager and all of a sudden her brain goes into, what did you call it, like a construction site. And she gets all these different kind of aspects of her personality. And then you've got the tree roots growing, and that's the neuroplasticity where she's building those neural pathways to have those skills.
Yeah, those are the beliefs. So the core beliefs. So the neuroplasticity and the peer influence, the experiences they have, they all help to then give them the structure for the core beliefs.
Yeah.
That's the tree that you have. But these helps with neuroplasticity.
So would you recommend parents of teenagers watch that film to get an idea of what it's like?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I do actually with all my clients, and with teenagers, I do ask them always to see the number 1
first. Yeah.
And then if they are a bit more interested, have a look at number 2, because it helps both. It helps parents, but it also helps teens because they really don't understand what's going on. If you watch the movie, she wakes up one day and everything happened so quickly that she didn't understand what was going on with herself. So this is what happens with them. Family dynamics don't help. And this is when, unfortunately, this is a big part of my work, like parents shift into trying to fix, trying to give unsolicited advice, trying to control or punish. And this creates the opposite. And unfortunately, leads the parenting relationship to disconnection. And they really need to feel safe. They really need to feel their mom and dad is going to have my back.
Yeah.
No matter what happened. Of course. And I always say limits, boundaries. Absolutely. That there is a way of putting limits and boundaries in a healthy way, a healthy outlet. And then doing that in more controlling way, which is not, it's not the healthy way. It's not actually going to get what you're looking for as a parent.
Yeah, I often say one of the goals of mindful parenting, especially most of my clients have younger children, is to parent them in such a way that when they get to be a teenager, they actually want to talk to you, and they know that if they're having trouble, they can come and talk to you and you're going to have their back no matter what. So I think it's really great, your approach from the kids' point of view, and then also teaching the parents those skills to be able to be there for their kids and to not be the judge and the jury of every single thing that their child does. So I think they work nicely hand in hand, don't they?
Yeah, absolutely. What I see most with parents is they lack from coaching tools, which they know all about this anyway, to be honest. And that has become a big part of my work. I help them to coach the teenager because that's the way of you're still the authority. That's why I always say boundaries and limits are important. You're looking after them, you're caring for them, and your job as a parent is to, as much as possible, make sure that your kid is safe and your kid is exploring this complex world and still have the capacity to come back to you and feel they come back to you.
Yeah.
But you become more as a mentor, the guide.
That's it.
Once they transition to a teenage year.
Fantastic. Yeah. So what are some simple but powerful ways that young people can start building emotional intelligence, even if they're struggling with some of those big feelings that come with adolescence?
Yeah. Most of them, they haven't even learned to name and recognize the emotions. And now it's a big change happening in schools. But the teenagers today, they weren't raised in school 5 years ago or 10 years ago. They have never learned. So my first job is to make sure that they can name, okay, this is how I'm feeling. I am feeling angry. I am feeling sad. And recognize the symptoms.
Yeah.
And the senses, because yes, emotions, the main ones at least, they do have kind of the same signals. However, and this is very important for teenagers, the way that we internalize and the story that we run behind that emotion is going to be different for each teenager, depending on context. And when I talk about context, is environment, school, family dynamics, and cultural background. I always talk about, I was born and raised in Argentina and my family is Italian. So we're very, very passionate. The way we express or the way I see expressing anger or sad, very different to what people do here. And that means that what I internalized and normalized when I was growing up, I'm sure you know this with your work as well. Kids, including teenagers, they learn 90% of what they see.
Yes.
You can tell them something if you don't role model.
Role modeling's the key.
They learn what they see. They learn through observation. So, yeah, the first one is recognizing the feeling. And when I say the feeling is, I go a little bit more deeper, and it's like you're not your emotion.
Yeah.
Your emotion is a signal that your body is sending to you to understand what's happening in the environment.
Mm.
The emotions actually run through the body for 90 seconds. It's 1.5 minutes. All the rest is just what we create about it.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, science. That's so interesting. So to recognize and then name it. And then I have simple questions like, what is the emotion? What is the emotion trying to tell me? And what's happening in my environment at this moment? So those are the first three. Name it and then be curious about it. Yeah.
Fantastic. So we know that teens experience these intense emotions, ups and downs. Apart from the 3 tips that you've just mentioned, what are some tools or what strategies do you teach them to use in the moment to manage anxiety or anger or overwhelm?
Well, I'm a big fan of breath work. I'm a certificate coach.
Great.
And I use a blend between breathing techniques and cold therapy. So I teach them cold therapy when they come to my world. Yeah, they start with the showers. We do ice bath as well.
Interesting.
And yeah, if they get the connection with breathing and understanding how to expand the diaphragm, this is what I train them to do. Once they learn this, for them drop into breathing techniques, it happens faster and quicker because the connection is there.
Great.
The diaphragm, the expansion of the diaphragm is what helps to activate the vagus nerve, is what helps to activate the branches, the alveoli in the lungs, which are the ones in charge of sending signals to the body that, hey, it's time to activate the parasympathetic nervous system.
Yeah.
So I teach them breathing techniques, of course, but if they come to my world and they really learn, and most of them, they're very interesting. Once they learn how to expose the body to cold therapy, they get hooked.
Yeah.
Because it's like, oh, wow, this is so simple and this is beautiful and
Really works.
and it really works. Yeah. Breathing techniques, like you can always do the 4-7-8, but really focusing on doing diaphragmatic breathing.
Yeah, fantastic. So as we come to a close, this podcast is all about small shifts that create big impacts. So for parents listening, what's one small shift that they can make today to better support their teens' emotional well-being?
The first one is we're not fixing. Yeah. So train them to understand that we need to stop the fixing.
Great.
And becoming curious.
Mm.
And I would say you can tell to yourself in the moment that you feel a trigger or your teenager is doing something that it's putting your your nervous system overload.
Yep.
Breathe again, and repeat to yourself, I'm not gonna fix, I'm gonna stay open and curious.
Beautiful.
And from that place, you can ask questions that comes from a place of curiosity.
Yeah.
And also help the teen to open up and talk.
Perfect.
They can say something like, okay, I can see or I can feel that you are upset in this moment. When you are ready to talk, I'm here.
Beautiful.
Just like that.
And then zip it.
And then sip it, not fix it, sip it. Not giving unsolicited advice, sip it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Thank you, Eugenia. This chat has been amazing. You've certainly taught me some things that I wasn't aware of. And I do feel, knowing that bit about the brain, about how it's that second window of opportunity, that's when our kids are really going to learn and take things in. And I think it's really great to know in advance, like you said.
Yeah.
Now, if people want to know more about you, where can they find you? What have you got coming up?
I do have a website, so creatorswillcreate.com, Instagram at creatorswillcreateau, and I have a membership coming up very soon for parents, which that's
Ooh,
very exciting. I'm working on that. Yeah.
very exciting.
Hopefully in the next, in a month or two,
Great.
everything's going to come live. And if they are in South Perth, I am holding an event monthly, which is the empowerment.
Oh, fantastic.
So they will learn everything we talked today. They will learn how to help them reframe limiting beliefs, how emotions work, and how to have a more balanced, calm, and loving relationship with their preteen and teenager.
Oh, brilliant. Well, I'll put links to the show notes for all of those.
Thank you.
Eugenia, thank you for your time. It's been wonderful to chat to you today.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Thanks for listening to Your Calm Parenting Path. I am so glad you're here. And I hope this episode gave you something useful to take into your parenting journey. If you'd like to dive deeper, sign up to my mailing list at mindfulparentinglifestyle.com.au for more tips and insights, or book a free chat to learn how we can work together. And don't forget to hit follow or subscribe so you never miss an episode. I look forward to speaking with you next time on Your Calm Parenting Path.